What's good? It's your boy D Brown. Cinema Rehab, presented by Back to the Classics. I know you guys are tired of talking about Mortal Kombat. I know this. So this will probably be the last Mortal Kombat situation that we talk about. But it's 2 weeks in. We're doing Monday. Today is Monday, just to let y'all know in real time. And Mortal Kombat's number 2 at the box office. It was expected. The money, obviously, that it generated when it was number 1 last week, that went down by 70%. Demon Slayer is currently the number 1 movie in America right now. But no one's going to the movie theater right now. These movies didn't make like $100 million each week. You know, the first week it made, I think, even close, maybe 30 million at best. And then this week it made less than that. So just to let y'all know, this race, it ain't even that crazy. But I digress. We're talking Mortal Kombat. I just want to let y'all know that I really love this movie. This is obviously Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. I don't know what Warner Brothers have planned. I hope they are making a sequel to this movie. They're basically making another Mortal Kombat Legends movie in the series. I hope they do because they left on a cliffhanger. But as of right now, Mortal Kombat, the reboot, the movie itself, has made close to 70 million. So it's made its budget back. So they're going to make a sequel. They need to make a sequel. We know the sequel's coming. So this is a video I wanted to make just to say what I want from a Mortal Kombat sequel. Like, I'm not going to get too into detail. I'm not going to get too, start naming a whole bunch of characters to you guys because Mortal Kombat got way too many characters. So it'll be hard to kind of figure out where they're going with this, but I got kind of an idea and I got my own expectations because let's just be honest with you, our expectations was not met. We walked into this thing with high expectations. Some people's expectations were low. They just wanted blood, gore, and violence. And even that really wasn't met. And then other people, they kind of walked into this thing. They wanted MK lore. They kind of wanted it to be an extension of what the 95 movie was, or basically the 95 movie again, but with just more money and a better director and better fights. I originally scored the movie at an 8. I actually have backpedaled. Now that I've seen this movie 3 times, I'm at a 7 now with it. You know, I'm okay with the movie. It's not a bad movie. Like, I enjoyed some aspects of the movie. I enjoyed some things they did with the movie, but I wish the movie could have done some other things. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe some better writing, maybe some better fights. The fights, my boy Tushan from Brooklyn, I grew up with that cat, and he right. The fights in 95 are way better. Like the Reptile Liu Kang fight, the Scorpion and Johnny Cage, you know, like those 2 fights were really good. So it's like, okay, if you're going to do anything, make the fights good at least. Obviously, this movie opens up with the SubZero Scorpion fight, which was excellently done, but it still fell short from what was accomplished in this animated one. If you're going to talk about Scorpion and SubZero, you got to give us a little bit more than that. You got to give us the backstory between the beef. You got to tell us why SubZero is there to kill Scorpion. Like, you gave us what we wanted, but you really kind of played it safe. You didn't truly give us what we wanted. And then after that, Scorpion was gone. He wasn't in the movie anymore. You gave us Cole. And Cole wasn't what we asked for. We didn't ask for Cole. You didn't need to make a movie with Cole. You really didn't. But that's fine. Cole is there. He's kind of like our avatar. He's the audience avatar. And we got a chance to kick it with Cole. And I guess, you know, Cole works a little bit, but he really kind of don't, you know? So I don't know. I'm giving a review over again. That's not what I'm doing. So if we're making an MK sequel, what do I want? Let's start off with an actual tournament. We need a tournament, yo. You can't call it Mortal Kombat without a tournament. I like the fact that you told us there's a tournament, but to not give us one was kind of cheap, you know. You gave us an unofficial tournament. Like, they got a chance to fight each other, but they didn't really get a chance to have a tournament, you know. Shang Tsung, being the villain that he just didn't want to do the tournament. He said, I could just kill y'all before the tournament starts. But obviously, you know, his evil plan backfired, you know, and you know, our heroes rose to the occasion, you know, at the expense of Kung Lao, you know, which really hurt people. But Kung Lao kind of is doomed already, you know, in the video game storyline stuff. So Not worried about Kung Lao. It's cool. You had a good fatality. They booked you strong until the end, you know. And I still stand on my shield, or I'm standing on the hill by myself. Me and Dave Neff, we agree. Liu Kang could have threw a fireball or something. Like, yeah, I didn't have to stand there and watch this man's soul get sucked like that. Y'all didn't do anything. Y'all just watched that happen. And you've been hitting fireballs the whole movie, so that makes no sense. I'm sorry, yo. That his death was just, it didn't sit well with me. I would have probably killed him off in the second movie, but I would have had killed him off in the first movie. Like, I don't think that was wise. Let's go with the Arcana. So the Arcanas that's a good reason to give everybody powers, I guess. Keep in mind, we're living in a world of Mortal Kombat, so technically you don't really have to explain to me exactly why people got powers. Like, I know what movie I'm watching. I know why we're here. So fireballs, bicycle kicks, you know, laser eyes, you know, things like that. Like, I don't need that much explanation for it. But the Arcana does open a nice little window. If you're going to do an Arcana, at least don't let that be their only power. So the power that we do see, let's at least give them more powers. Like, they could do another fireball. They could do another move. Like, their Arcana can evolve. So I'm hoping in the sequel, we get to see their Arcana manifest. I think everybody's main issue was Jax. Jax obviously, you know, had the poor little Tink arms, and then his Arcana awoken, and he was able to get his robotic Diesel Debo arms. But is that really a superpower? But you got to really think about it. What is his power? Maybe his power was to literally manifest these arms. So that means technically he might have a power that's techno-friendly. He might be able to fire missiles in the next one. He might be able to fire, you know, projectiles. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they can go places with it. Like, just because we've seen one part of their Arcana, there might be more levels to the Arcana. So I'm hoping in the sequel we get levels to the Arcana. Let's go with Johnny Cage. So Johnny Cage is obviously not in this movie, and technically I was cool with him not being around. Like, it didn't matter. Like, obviously you had Kano, he was the larger than life presence, but you didn't really need Johnny Cage to be around. Like, you didn't need two assholes running around here, you know? So that's fine. Kano got a chance to present himself. I hope Kano comes back too. I really do hope Kano comes back, because Kano was mad cool, and y'all could do something about, you know, the way he went out. Obviously that will give him his, you know, his robotic eye, you know, because obviously the Arcana is his laser eye. So I think what I'm asking for is Johnny Cage to steal the show. So technically he didn't have to steal the origin story. He can steal the sequel though, you know? So I'm okay with him stealing the sequel, and he deserves it because he's a star. He's a larger than life character, and he's a complete funny character to put in a vehicle like this. So I think we should at least hire somebody that's name worthy. I heard John Cena's. I've heard Ryan Reynolds. I've heard The Miz, WWE The Miz. Personally, I'm not that keen on doing The Miz. And I'm not hating on The Miz. I think Miz is awesome. I think Miz technically is Johnny Cage without the martial arts. And The Miz gets the character. And I think The Miz will probably be, you know, a good choice if they decide to go with that. But I just think that we don't really need The Miz. We can get somebody else, but I do want it to be a named person. I want it to be a big deal, especially the way Cole at the end basically alludes, we're going to go get Johnny Cage kind of deal, name drop and all that. Yeah, if you're going to do all of that, Johnny Cage, his casting is important now, because now we're noticing. We're going to watch that now. So I want a good Johnny Cage. That's all I'm saying. That's where I was going with that. I want him to annoy Sonya, but I do want them to have that nice little chemistry romance. You know, I want something. I want something out of that. I want cameos from the 95 movie. I want Robin Shaw. I want Lyndon Ashby. Like, do cameos, man. Why didn't you put cameos in the film? I don't get that. Like, cameos are dope for us, you know? So do the cameos. Let the old crew come and kick it in the new movie and do something, you know. That's just a small little, I don't mind having some cameos, you know. More blood and more gore, and this is a major one because this thing needed to go ham. And it was I watch a lot of bloody movies, I watch a lot of gory movies, and this was like the PG-13 of that. Like, it was violent, but it could have been way more violent in my opinion. Like, so this next movie, especially if we're getting a tournament, if Shang Tsung decides to resurrect everybody that died and we get new characters and new crazy characters, we get some Barakas running around and all kind of other stuff. Man, blood and gore city. I want people getting their legs chopped off, their arms chopped off, their head chopped off, thrown off pits, thrown into acid pits. I want Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3 layouts, Outworld. Like, I want to see stuff. Like, the budget felt limited. I get that, but it's never too limited for blood and gore. Like, blood and gore, that's easy. You could do that. Make some better deaths. Have some better fights. The fights were not memorable. Have better fights. Those fights were not memorable, man. Shout out to everybody that was mad for 2 weeks. Like, I had to wait for y'all to calm down before I made this video because, to be honest with you, I agreed with all of y'all, but it's like we couldn't have the same conversation every day. I feel your pain. Like, if you're not going to do the MK lore, at least make the fights good. And the fights, they were forgettable at best, man. And even the Scorpion and SubZero fight where they had to jump SubZero Bihan at the end, it was cool. It was nice to look at. It was dope. It made the trailer hype, but it's like, I want more out of that. You know, like, I wanted more. Like, I just wanted more for that, man. That beef is on site. So I know we're getting more from that beef. I know everybody knows that Bihan's coming back. We know these things. We got 3 movies at least. I know they're going to do a solid trilogy, so they can take this in so many other directions, but I just want the second one to ramp everything up. The same way we saw Blade and we was excited about Blade, shout outs to New Line Cinema. Blade 2 came out and it was a completely different animal. Guillermo del Toro went off in that sequel. That is probably easily one of the best Marvel sequels hands down in the world. Now, I'm not talking about Marvel right now, but I am talking about rated R content. And Blade was the first technical rated R Marvel superhero character. And we have a rated R Mortal Kombat. Act like it. Act like you got rated R Mortal Kombat. This felt like it could have been PG-13 a little bit because PG-13 is violent now. So, like, it's like you giving us PG-13 violence. You're giving us Netflix violence. Yo, you're giving a CW TV-14 violence. Like, I need violence. I need this to be TVMA. I want this to be graphic. Like, go ham. Cut everybody's heads off. In fact, if you even that beginning scene, attack the compound. Attack Scorpion's family. Like, show it. Show everything. Oh, everybody was dead when he showed up. That's corny. Like, that's whack. On top of the fact that you didn't even give me the reasons behind the beef. You didn't kill enough people for me. Like, like, movie, what's wrong with you? I get it. Your budget was low, but to kill people, to have stunt choreography, to just show blood and gore, that don't cost that much money. That don't cost that. I don't make films, but I know I've watched a lot of low budget films and they're violent as hell. Like, come on, man. Hire the Raid people. Hire Raid Redemption 2 people. Hire them. They know what they're doing. Don't have corny fights, man. Don't have that. You can tell that these actors, man, because some of them got skills, some of them can fight, but we need good scraps, we need good blood and gore. End of story. That this ain't make no sense. And for a Mortal Kombat movie, this is your first time coming out the gate rated R, you should have pulled all the stops. Bring that same energy Scorpion's Revenge brought. Period. There ain't nothing else to say about that. Dig deep into the lore, y'all. I was a big fan of telling y'all the MK lore can change. Obviously, everything in the video game doesn't have to be like a movie, in my opinion, personally. A movie world is different than the video game world. But then again, this movie is based on a video game. So technically, get certain shit right. If you're going to change it, make sure that what you're changing is not sacrificing a better story. You went out of your way to introduce Cole. You went out of your way to not give us no MK lore. And that was a grave mistake. This thing could have really probably made a lot of money. As a kid, I saw Mortal Kombat, the movie, 3 times in the theaters as a kid. As an adult, I didn't watch it in the movie at all. I was scheduled to watch it in IMAX. I was scheduled to watch it in Dolby Digital. And guess what? I canceled it because I watched it twice on HBO Max. And there was a part of me that said, I want to watch this in IMAX. But then I really thought about the movie as a whole, where it sat. I'm like, I don't have to pay an IMAX seat, you know? And I do plan on still seeing it in IMAX. Shout outs to Shari in the group. Me and her, we were talking about it, like, we got to see it in IMAX at least once, you know? So I will say this. I'm not as excited to see it in IMAX because you didn't really give me anything IMAX worthy to look at. You know, it's still a meh film. It's a 7. So I don't watch 7s in IMAX. I watch 10s in IMAX. I watch big budgeted movie with special effects, crazy things going on in IMAX, you know, and I don't think we're there yet with this one. I'm hoping the sequel is. I hope the sequel comes a little bit harder. Maybe let's add an extra 10, 20 million on the budget. Let's add more because it's clearly you guys were limited. Outworld, I didn't even see Outworld that much. And what I did see Outworld looked like Las Vegas, Nevada. Like it didn't really look like an Outworld to me. Like I think the original movie understood what it was, understood how to execute even when they were limited, even when they had limitations, they understood that the sets, the visuals, everything had to be precise. And we just didn't get it this time, man. For a prequel movie, you did a great job as a prequel, as a setup movie. And as a setup movie, you lied to a lot of people. You made it seem like we were about to get Mortal Kombat. I wouldn't call this Mortal Kombat. This is pre-combat. This is pre-cum combat. I just made that shit up. Pre-cum combat. It really the fuck is, man. It's not what it's supposed to be, man. Like we want more. We want Mortal Kombat. Why is that so fucking hard? Like, why couldn't you just make Mortal Kombat 1? Even have like some weird ass technical rule. Remember, y'all guys are making up the rules as you go along. In fact, none of the characters are even following the rules. Shang Tsung can't fucking interfere, even though he's interfered. Not my bad. Shang Tsung can't fucking kill these people. You know what I'm saying? But he's still doing it. He said the gods are too lazy. Them niggas is watching Netflix or something. He's breaking the rules. Raiden don't want to break the rules. It's just stupid shit. It's like, look, if y'all guys are just making this shit up as y'all go along, just throwing shit at the screen, y'all could have had a Mortal Kombat tournament and then have that shit be like, it's the first Mortal Kombat movie or Mortal Kombat tournament to get a DQ. And then nothing gets decided. So we have to come back like next year and do it all over again. Like, you know, so you could have booked this shit like WWE, you know, at this stage of the game. More Scorpion. I think Scorpion was shortchanged in this movie. SubZero had so much on-screen presence in this film, man. SubZero reminded me of Jason Voorhees in this movie. This motherfucker was all over the place. He literally stalked everybody, and he let his presence felt. Like he was done excellent in this movie. I think SubZero was not an issue in this movie. Anybody that watched this movie will agree SubZero was awesome. Like he was dope. He was dope as fuck, actually. You know, I hate to have seen it happen to him, but I understood that they had to jump him. It got so bad that Jax lost his arms, which was a great scene, by the way, watching Makad Brooks lose his arms to SubZero. Makad Brooks was given an option of who he wanted to scrap. He said, nah, I want to scrap Raiko. I'm like, Raiko didn't take your arms. Go scrap SubZero. He's like, clearly, we going to have to fucking jump SubZero. He is undefeatable. I am not doing it. It is beyond me, bucko. Like, that's where, and I understood. He knew he wasn't ready to fight a SubZero. And to me, that was booking SubZero too powerful. They made him like the Brock Lesnar of this shit. Like, I was happy. But then again, the real Brock Lesnar should have been Goro. And look how you did our boy. Look at the disgrace you did to the boy. Reptile, I forgave. I forgave Reptile, but Goro? You could have sent Reptile after Cole. I would have been cool with that. Or sent another Reptile after Cole and then have him turn into a ninja. But Goro, you sacrificed Goro. At least with the 95 film, we knew Goro was a problem. We knew Goro was wilding. And he definitely got outsmarted. He didn't get outfought. He got outsmarted. Johnny Cage used his wits and defeated Goro. But this one, you let Cole defeat him, you know, with his Arcana powers, which, by the way, he got 2 Arcanas. He got that motherfucking whatever, that copper vest, and he got like these little joints, these little weapons. Like, y'all kept giving him level ups. He got mad level ups in it. Like, that's why I want more Arcana powers. That's where I'm going with the sequel. Everybody gets level ups in the next one. Yeah, but I want more Scorpion. You shortchanged him. At least give us the backstory now. Show him in hell. Like, have him have conversations with Quan Chi. Like, let's just do more of Scorpion. Like, I don't understand why y'all shortchanged him. Y'all could have even did a back and forth of, but y'all shortchanged that man, and that was terrible, terrible. Come on, man. That man was in the movie for 10 minutes. This is a Mortal Kombat movie. Scorpion deserves a lot more minutes than that. I shouldn't have to be looking at Cole more than Scorpion, even if you made him like a descendant of Scorpion. That's cheap. That's cheap, man. Like, nah. This next one, give the fans what they want. Give more MK lore and give more Scorpion. You know, book it equal. Book it equal. And I promise you, we'll be happy. I see that was the most arguments. Everybody was mad about the MK lore. If you're gonna change anything, get the lore right. You know, and you did. You got certain aspects of the lore right, but you made some critical mistakes with either you withheld lore or you changed lore. A lot of it was withholding. You withheld a lot of the MK lore. So in the next one, unleash the MK lore, you know, and we'll be fine. We'll be good. Everybody will be happy and we can rejoice for the next one. That's what I want for the sequel. Let's see. Bring in better writers. Like this was written poorly. And I don't want to say we deserve like real good writers, but we deserve a little bit more prestige when it comes to the script, you know? And I know that's asking for a lot for a Mortal Kombat movie, but at the end of the day, man, give the dialogue some chance to have fun and let it breathe a little bit. I think Kano was perfect. But when it comes down to like dry deliveries, Cole was dry, man. He was an unseasoned piece of chicken. And that shit is whack, man. Like, he was so dry as fuck, man. And it almost took you out of the movie for a little bit. And then the action ramped up because the first hour was good. And then it took a nice nap. Like their whole montage, their training montage, finding the Arcana, that shit was nappy. And I ain't take no naps in the first Mortal Kombat. Like, I was excited. I still watch the first Mortal Kombat to this day. It's still exciting. Fight, exposition, fight, exposition, fight, exposition. Like, it's a nice back and forth. With this one was paced weird. Like, fight, exposition, mini fight, exposition, argument, exposition, fight. Like, it was just weird. Like, this one was paced retarded to me. Like they could have paced this thing a little bit better. And for pacing to be good, in my opinion, it has to be good exposition that moves into an action piece. Smooth exposition, move into an action piece. Smooth exposition, character development, action piece. Sometimes the character development is the action. Like, this didn't have that. And I think this next one, now that we got all the setup done, this next one, have fun. Just have fun. Blade to this situation. Just have fun with the movie. That's all we're asking now. Now you can go balls to the wall and have fun. Like, we talking violence, good scraps, better dialogue, better script. Take heed to these mistakes that were made. Pay attention. And I promise you, if you fix these situations, we will give your movie a 10 out of 10 for the next one. Because you deserve a 10 out of 10 Mortal Kombat. It's not that simple. It's not crazy. Like, it's not that. Don't make this complicated. It could all be simple. It could all be great for everybody. Stop trying to please everybody. Just please Mortal Kombat fans. Yeah, the general audience will be pleased already because we're happy. Our excitement will get them excited because they don't know what they're watching. The general audience don't know what they're watching. Second, this is rated R. So in theory, kids ain't watching this for real. Kids ain't going to the movies to see this. They're not allowed to go see this, but I'm confident kids will watch this. Kids will watch this on HBO Max. Once again, we don't even know if you're going to do the same HBO Max deal next year. We don't know what's going on next year. Next year, everything could be healed. COVID-19, the vaccines, everything will be out. And we can go back to the movies, you know? So all I ask is that we get an understanding of what you sending us back to the movies to go see. It has to be worth it. I'm confident budget wise, you can probably ramp it up just a little bit and everybody, it will show. It will show. This showed where you were at budget wise. I felt it. You know, we did a scener, me and Dave, we talked about it briefly where that budget, it felt like a $50 million film. It felt like what I was watching, you know. Y'all skimmed and y'all did what y'all thought was necessary. Goro, y'all look like y'all spent a lot of money on Goro. I don't think it was worth it, in my opinion. That was a waste of money. Y'all could have held on to him. Y'all could have held on to him for the second one. Made him like a threat at the tournament. You know, y'all didn't give him no exposition. He came in, he was a shadow, and then he came in to fight Cole. Even the wife got to hit him. Like, the wife? Like, really? I ain't saying she hit him like a lot. She got yeeted, but at the end of the day, there was too much going on with the Goro coming to the barn. Like, whoever okayed that, are Mortal Kombat people allowed to give their feedback on these things? Like, I just don't understand. You guys are the experts, and you allow these things to happen. Like, it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense. Obviously, my phone's blowing up. So let's go. Last but not least, Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung he said something about bringing, like, death means something else. I forgot the exact quote. I think it was, I guess basically death is nothing. Like, it's nothing to us on this side of the mountain. And they all disappeared. Bring those characters back. Everybody, all those henchmen, the Brotherhood of Evil, Mortal Kombat mutants, bring them all back. They got done so out of line. Bring back the Cabals, bring back all of them. Like, I want them to be able to come back, and they could come back in a different way, come back in a different version, but bring back the Melinas, or if you don't bring back Melina, bring in Katana and make her look like Melina, but the bad version of Melina, because let's just keep it 100. Melina had the yams, and she was like, y'all didn't do the thing with the mask where we could have probably known that she was like the cute version of the sisters and then give us the reveal. Y'all instantly made her ugly. Like, y'all just gave us the yuck mouth from the gate. Like, it was like, wait, you giving us the yuck mouth too quick. Like, stop. Like, that's the problem. That was back when I was talking about the MK lore. That part needed some lore, some exposition, some character development. Y'all just threw Melina at us. You just threw a Melina and a Raiko at us and a Natara. You just threw these homies at us like they were expendable. Like, some of these characters do got history. They got history. Like, you can tell their story. You can tell it. So Shang Tsung made that quote. I'm hoping that Shang Tsung basically is going to bring these people back, and then we get to get more out of those characters because they got shortchanged. Raiko, I don't give a fuck about. I don't care about Raiko. But my boy Bake said Raiko was his favorite dude. You know, shout out to my boy Bake. Give a little bit more for Raiko. Raiko ain't talk in the damn movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't barely spoke. He said a little something to Jax before he got his head clapped, you know? So that's it, man. We need a better development for what's going on. And that way we can get, you know, a little bit more into the violence that's being thrown at us. Did the 95 one do that? No, absolutely not. But they did explain that tournament very well. And they did deliver on the action and they did deliver on the fights. Now, is the 95 movie, does it look good? Does it still hold up? Absolutely fucking not. It's a trash movie, but it's still an entertaining trash movie. It falls in that category of like a caravan of garbage. Like, it really falls in the it's so bad it's good kind of deal, you know? At the time, Cisco and Ebert, one of them gave it a thumbs up. They know what they there for. One of them had fun with it. Because technically, Mortal Kombat 95 is Enter the Dragon. That's all it is, but it's Enter the Dragon with Mortal Kombat. That's all it is. So I'm not saying y'all need to borrow formulas or you need to borrow another formula, because they call this reboot I wouldn't even call this the Avengers. Don't stop. Don't even disrespect Marvel like that. Just whatever formula has worked for you guys in the past, use those same formulas and incorporate some new ones. But look towards the past and look towards the lore to help you out. And I promise the sequel will work in your favor. This is D Brown. This is Cinema Rehab. Brought to you by Back to the Classics. You guys know where you can find me. IG, BKLV Negrito. I'm always there to answer any questions that you may have after this video comes out. And then holla at me on the movie page. I'm sure after you guys watch this, you guys are going to probably come at me a certain type of way, but I feel like this is the necessary seasonings that the sequel is going to need. Anyway, have a blessed one. Peace out.